Hey everybody, so spoiler central, do not come anywhere near this video if you are not caught up with the One Piece manga. Unfortunately, this is probably not going to be saved till episode 850, about that time, so I'd recommend you stay away from this video. I'm sorry, believe me, I really want you to watch it, like I really do, but this is like plot twist level spoilers, so don't get in there. Hey everybody, it's Tripl-L and now let's talk One Piece. This time, specifically, let's talk One Piece pairs. So this is a topic some people have been asking for, so let's give it a go. I'm still finding my footing with this one, so hopefully it'll be something that I will be able to develop into its own beast, and hopefully you guys will enjoy the ride. Anyway, what better way to start this off than with the pair whose coupling is a really big deal in the story, Sanji and Pudding. You know, in a way, you could say this is the first time significant amounts of other characters are shipping two characters together, what with the Big Mom Pirates and the Vinsmoke army gunning for the union of these two. And yeah, you know, there might be nefarious motivations behind it, but it doesn't change that for story reasons, characters wanted two people to get together. Heck, you know, one could even say that Luffy was shipping it for a split second there, and I think that'd give a point to the Sanji and Pudding pair. Anyway, let's get more serious. Quick recap on the pair's history. This was an engagement that initially started off as something Sanji needed to go do and officially declined so he could return to his friends, to something that then became a proposal that because of exploding handcuffs and blackmail Sanji couldn't decline anymore. Then it transformed to something that Sanji was doing in exchange for the safety of his crewmates that came to save him. Suffice to say, Sanji was keeping other people in mind as he was going through with this. Thankfully though, in the background of all of this crazy wedding shenanigans, Sanji had a wonderful rock in his fiance Pudding, that as long as he had this ray of kind sunshine, he would somehow be able to survive. He clung to this hope, bathed himself in that light, and then one stormy night, he found out the girl wanted to kill him as part of a giant plot against the Vinsmoke family. Suffice to say, it was a rocky affair in that first bit, and as a fan of Sanji's character, that wasn't a nice thing to have to read. It really broke the boy down and kind of like also hurt me on a personal level. And Pudding definitely didn't score any points at that point. But Sanji's a kind person in spite of it all, and fast forward to the wedding, Sanji is able to disarm Pudding with the most earnest compliment Sanji has given in a long time, telling Pudding that her eye is beautiful. And around this point is where I started to seriously like the Pudding-Sanji possibility, because for me, before this point, the pair was still something that was born from pure forced circumstance, and as we found later, deceit. And to some degree, both parties weren't truly being genuine. After all, like, Sanji wouldn't go through that whole thing of embracing his engagement to Pudding if he was already totally devoted to Pudding. And then we saw the horrors that were Pudding's evil faces, so yeah, that wasn't really helping much. On top of all that, you know, Sanji's love life was kind of a joke. Or rather, he just didn't have any real staying power with women that mattered, so you couldn't really count on Sanji to have a stable relationship. But then we got the upset at the wedding and we started to see more true emotions from both parties. It started turning into something I would be okay with seeing more of, and then with the ensuing, oh dear goodness, let's run away from Big Mom part of the arc, it went from something I was okay seeing more of to something that I kind of wanted to root for and kind of started to appreciate. The big part that got me into this mindset, so pretty much the first blow into this, was Pudding seeing Sanji run off with Nami. That part told me that something popped up in her, that it would be something genuine. But with One Piece, ships aren't something that you should expect to have any payoff. But with what we're seeing from Pudding in this stage, it was making me hope against that trend. At the very least, I'm happy that we continue to see the characters interact under better circumstances, even though those better circumstances involve dealing with the bride's crazy mother. But at that point, I mean, like, that's just weddings in general, so point for Sanji and Pudding there. Anyway, let's just talk about what I would use to sell people on this pair for the funnies. In other words, the surface level commonalities. Well, they're both people coming from the infamous lineages of the Vinsmoke family and the Big Mom family. That's something. Like, they have common ground that they could vent about and, you know, establish more commonality on. They both had parents who weren't exactly proud of them. Big Mom having Pudding hide her eye because it disgusted her, and judged the whole thing with genetic superiority because he was ultimately disgusted by Sanji, who wasn't genetically superior. So they have that too. And then they have role synergy in being chefs, since Pudding is a pastry chef. Now, Sanji has established his dominance in the kitchen, but there's nothing stopping Pudding from being a supporting chef like a sous chef. Now, things like this don't really mean much in One Piece since it's a rolling adventure, but, and this is a big but, if Pudding was to tag along with the Straw Hat crew for a while, the previous commonalities would come into play and they would be fun to see explored. But before getting to speculation, let's talk about another layer of commonalities, these being the ones that got me fully on the Sanji Pudding boat. It's the way that Pudding behaves post the beautiful eye comments. Now, at first, it was extremely annoying, Pudding flipping her perspectives from the really angry person to the really in love girl. But then, you know, it toned down over time and the interactions started getting cuter. What with Pudding having hearts in her dialogue the way that Sanji has hearts in his dialogues. And then the most influential part for me being Pudding having hearts in her eyes and having a nosebleed in response to Sanji's compliment. At that point, the game changed for me. Guys, she turned into Sanji. At that moment. The moment I saw that, it was like a whole new door swung open. It was a simple panel, but someone who reacts to Sanji the same way that Sanji reacts to her? Could you imagine how funny this would be on the Straw Hat crew? I'd watch that. Look, she even lights on fire. Do you know who else lights on fire? Luffy. Okay, no, you know I was gonna say Sanji, but yeah. The point of this though is the little things. I think that the fact that there's someone that matches Sanji's mannerisms, it's worth seeing them interact more. Like, this is a very rare thing and I would love to see more of it. Anyway, the door of possibilities is wide open. So now let's start talking. What if Pudding tagged along with the crew with this dynamic with Sanji being her gag? It would be a fun time for sure. If this happened, I would want the marriage to stick because then we could have gags derived from Sanji's behavior and Pudding dealing with it. I mean, we know that Sanji's a guy that loves to flirt. How funny would it be to have interactions where she gets mad at Sanji for flirting with Nami or Robin, and then she gets really cute and adorable when Sanji reaffirms his feelings about her. You know, it's just a fun time overall, I think. But to base a member joining just because of shipping, you know, that's a bit too frivolous to do for a legitimate topic in the One Piece community. So let's legitimize this part a little bit. Pudding is a big deal for the Big Mom Pirates, what with her third eye being a potential way to navigate to the final island, but Pudding has also shown that she's not on the best of terms with the Big Mom Pirates, so removing her from the situation would be a nice way to ruin Big Mom's chances of getting to Raftel, and simultaneously saving Pudding from the environment that she was in. However, that would ruin Big Mom's chances of getting to Raftel, which would mean the Straw Hats would potentially have to deal with a Big Mom in hot pursuit of them if they did take Pudding. But then again, she's already pretty angry at the Straw Hats, so maybe that wouldn't make much of a difference depending on how things with the cake play out. In other words, it could really go either way, and either scenario would give a circumstance that's totally understandable within the story. And on another level, at this point though, Chiffin, Lola, and Praline have sort of deserted the Big Mom Pirates, so having Pudding join those ranks wouldn't be that strange. And in terms of what the girl could do on the Straw Hats crew, because that's a big part of the who's going to be the next crew member debate, well, we just talked about it earlier. Her role on the crew could be the sous chef, like she's just Sanji's support, which is a lot clearer than what another hopeful Carrot's role would be. Anyway, if you can't tell, I'm really up for this. I would really be up for this. And if Oda felt to keep this dynamic and even carry it on towards the Straw Hat crew, I'd be eternally grateful. But we know it's One Piece and we know Oda's stance on romance. One Piece is only about the romance of the adventure. So because of that, because I know that this is a active force against romance in One Piece, I'd be okay regardless, and that's how we should all be. But when it comes back to just Sanji and Pudding overall, you know, what sold me on it was just the commonality at the subtle layer of interactions. The fact that they mirror each other that well, I think is cute and adorable. It's the furthest that Sanji has gotten with any female character, and having Pudding on the crew would be a pretty nice bonus to the Sanji Pudding ship. And I do love the idea of taking Pudding from an environment where she didn't really receive any love as a child to an environment where the first person that ever complimented her on the one feature that warped her, if she was with the person that changed her perspective on that. I think that would be just a nice thing for the character. So you know what? Points for Pudding and Sanji for making me care about Pudding after she completely destroyed the hearts of many people who were rooting for Sanji. But overall, that's my thoughts on it. Guys, thanks for watching. And now we're at the end of the video. So, great stuff. This video was fun. It's the first One Piece video I'm doing. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I will be improving these videos. I'm just trying to figure out the proper flow for how I want to structure these videos, because with One Piece, it's a bit different than My Hero Academia, if you guys have also seen the My Hero Academia videos. Anywho, let me also pimp out a Discord server. We need more One Piece fans, so if you feel like it, feel free to jump on the Discord server. We're just a bunch of people talking about anime, manga, and other philosophical discussions. So if you're interested in any of that, or just want a place to just chat with people when you have nothing to do, I think that Discord server is a nice place to be. Links are in the description down below, and I will also have a comment with the link in it. Anyway, guys, as tradition for the shipping videos, let me know what other kind of pairs you would want an exploration on. With the One Piece pairs, we're pretty much going to be talking, I guess, a lot of the rhetorics of why this would be supported, and not really referencing too many of the events that created the support in the first place, aside from the really big obvious ones, because there's just too much to go into with One Piece. So that in mind, just let me know what you are into, what you would like an explanation on, and yeah. Oh, actually, you know what? Back on the Discord thing, just gotta say a thank you to Dr. Zach on the Discord, because he's pretty much the one that broke the camel's back on this. So yeah, like that's what happens on the Discord. Sometimes you guys will say something really interesting that I think warrants a video, or just kind of pushes me into like just finally doing what I needed to do. Anyway, yeah, guys, thanks for watching. Till next time, I hope you have a great day.